Hey everybody, it's Birds. Yeah, so I got this tool, this M8 sample organizer. It's gonna take all your sample packs that are in a bunch of folders and have audio files that may not work too well on your M8 tracker. This delightful little Game Boy doodad, and it's gonna clean them up. It's gonna clean them up, make them look real nice like this. But this is a command line tool, and I feel you. If you're not comfortable there, so someone asked, I'm just gonna make a quick video show how this works. So yeah, so first command line tools. You need to open a terminal or CMD to run it. So we're Windows. So I'm just gonna go to my start menu, type in CMD, and there's our command prompt. Click that. Cool. And now we're in it. We're in the shell, in the terminal. So first thing we need Python. I think Windows comes with Python. If not, you can just go to python.org, download it, install it. And when you're in the terminal, you test it out, type Python -- version, and it tells us a version, starts with 3. If it doesn't start with 3, then you can say Python 3 version, should start with 3. Okay, so we got that. So now we need to install this tool, FFmpeg. This is like a very standard audio conversion tool, free, open source, not gonna put any viruses on your computer. It's like an industry tool. And yeah, and you just come download it. So Windows, and you just grab one of these, install it, put it wherever. It'll tell you a path. For me, I just put mine in C:/FFmpeg. And if we come in here to this bin folder, there it is, ffmpeg.exe. So we got that, all right. So then what's the next step? Now we got to download the tool. Cool, so I'm gonna download it, and we've got our zip file, and I'm just gonna take this code and I'm gonna drop it on the desktop. Close this. And so here we go. So now I got all my pieces. So here's my samples folder that's got my sample packs in it. I want to clean up all these folders. There's some WAV files. That's what we want. Cool. And then I've got this M8 samples folder, and this is just where we want them to go. So all right, we got that. What's next? Now it says set up the config file. So we're going to go to that folder we just dropped on our desktop. There's a file called config.yaml-sample, and we're going to rename it to config.yaml. So I'm going to come in here. There's that file. And if it doesn't say the extension here, it just says config, you just come over, you click this view button, and then just make sure this box is checked, file name extensions. Then we see it. And there's our config.yaml, and it says we want to just rename it to config.yaml. So I'm going to click, and I'm just going to delete this part off, and now we got our config.yaml. So this is a text file. So what do we got to do? We got to set up the source folder, the dest folder, and the ffmpeg path. So I'm just going to right click on this, go to open with Notepad, and that's big. Okay, and then here's the file. So we got to get this one set up, we got to get this one set up, and we got to get this set up. All right. So first things first, this is Windows. So I'm just going to come in here. I'm just going to comment. Actually, we can just delete them. We're going to use the Windows ones. Just going to delete those # so that we just have our source and our dest, and then now we got to set up these folders, right? So here's how you do that. So I'm just going to come here. So here's my source folder where all my samples are, and here where it says samples, I'm just going to click to the right, and then that gives us the whole path. It's ready to go. So I can just take that and copy, and laundry's done, and paste that in right there. And then we got to do the same thing for our destination folder. Cool, come in, here's our M8 samples. Just gonna click there, copy, and then let's paste this in. So we told it where to get the files, where to put them. Now we just got to do this one. We're on Windows, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. I'm just gonna uncomment this. And we got to plug in our path. So where did I put that? Right, that was over here. We got our same thing. Here's our bin. And actually, let's see if I can get it to autocomplete. Yeah, cool. So then here's our FFmpeg bin, all that. And I'm just going to paste that in here. So now it knows where this tool is to actually do the conversion. And yeah, that's all you got to do. You mess with this other stuff. Like if there's like extra words you want to get out, like let's say the word like draft is in a bunch of our pack names. And so we just want to get rid of it. So this will get rid of the word draft, and then anything that starts with draft, it'll get rid of that. And then it'll clean up punctuation. So like space, underscore, whatever. This is how we know it's like multiple words. That's our split punctuation. And this is the fill. You don't have to change any stuff, but like if there's extra punctuation you want to get rid of just altogether, put in here. There you go. And then finally, this is how it glues the words back together. This audio section, you could add some other file types. I just got the WAV files, but you know, FFmpeg can convert like all kinds of files. This is the bit depth. I would just leave it at 16. That's what the M8 wants. And then if you ever want to like force it to rerun for everything for whatever reason, you can just change that to false. But cool. So we got our path set up. We're good. So now I'm gonna close this out, and then I'm actually gonna close these two. Let's just go back to our instructions. Okay. So now we need to install this library, YAML. And so you don't have to think about this, right? I'm just gonna Python 3 copy, boom, paste it, pip install pyyaml, hit enter. Take a second. This is just, it's not that big or anything. It's just got to go to the internet and find the package and plug it in. I already had it installed. If you didn't, it would just install it real quick. So now we got that. And then come back to our instructions. We're good to go. So, okay, so now we got to go to this folder on our desktop. So here's some shell stuff. So we're just going to go to that folder. It's got our config file in it. Same deal. Just going to click here, copy, gets our path. And now I'm going to do the cd command. Cd space, boom. Right click, paste that in. There you go. So now I'm in the right folder, and you can just, if you're on Windows, type dir. On Mac or Linux, it's ls. And it'll just tell us what folder's here, and like, hey, there's our config YAML. We're in the right spot. All right. So cool. So we got that, and now what's our last step? Just run the command, run the script. Let's do it. So then I'm just going to come back here. We got this good to go. Right click, paste it in, hit enter, fingers crossed, boom. It's copying everything over. And like, what's it doing, right? It's got this like whole big long path with all these folders. It's cleaning them up, making them nice and short, making them look good on the M8, converting the audio file, dropping it off here. And so, yeah, so now you just have this folder, this M8 samples, and we got our whole sample pack cut over, and it's way cleaner. And if you ever want to rerun it in the future, you know, like let's say we didn't have this dry sample, you know, before, and then we just added it into our main sample library, we just come in here, rerun the script again. It'll find that one new file, get it copied over, and then yeah, you're set. You're set from there. You can just take this M8 samples folder, grab the SD card off your M8, load it on there, easy. Yeah, so that's it. If you have any questions, hit me up at Famous Birds on Twitter, or you can at me on the Reddit thread, and yeah, we'll get you sorted. Yeah, so I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a good one. Cheers.